In this video, we are going to discuss about rectilinear propagation of light on the basis of Fresnel's half-period zone theory. In continuation to the previous video, where the total amplitude due to entire wavefront can be given by a1 by 2 plus and minus an by 2. So, if an is odd, it will be a1 by 2 plus an by 2. If it is even, it would be a1 by 2 minus an by 2. If there are very large number of zones in an aperture, then because of obliquity factor, this a1 will be very large as compared to an, and we can say that a is approximately equal to a1 by 2. Now, depending upon this theory, we will try and study rectilinear propagation of light. So here I have considered one aperture which is given by this solid yellow line, and the situation is such that the size of this aperture is much greater as compared to wavelength of light, in such a manner that one aperture can contain very large number of zones. So here I have considered a pole A, and as you can see I have drawn few zones around it, so two zones can be seen. I consider few more points, so I have one more point B which is close to the edge of the aperture, and these are its zones. I have one more point pole C which is just outside the edge of this aperture. So now I draw the curve S1 which is lying just inside the aperture, and curve S2 which is just lying outside the aperture. Now, as in this situation there are very large number of zones inside this aperture, and A is very much inside this aperture, we can approximate the amplitude due to this wavefront because of pole A would be a1 by 2, and same would be true if I take more neighboring points which are well inside this aperture. So if I consider more points, all of them will give rise to this constant amplitude a1 by 2. But if now I consider pole B which is just towards the edge, because now the changing number of zones is coming at the edge, here the intensity or amplitude at the observation point will be decided by Fresnel's half-period zone theory. So if the number of zones in this region are odd, region means from the pole to the edge of the aperture. If those numbers are odd, point will be high intensity. If the number of zones are even, point will be of lower intensity. So here actually diffraction will happen, and this will only follow approximate rectilinear propagation of light. Similarly, if I consider the points which are in similar location, that is close to edge of the obstacle, all those will only follow approximate rectilinear propagation of light. Similarly, for a pole which is just located outside the edge of the aperture, diffraction will occur and the intensity will keep on reducing as we go away from the aperture. So we can say that the points which are lying in outside this curve S1 and inside curve S2 will have approximate rectilinear propagation of light, and the points which are well inside the aperture will have rectilinear propagation of light. When Fresnel added the idea of destructive interference in the alternate zones, therefore using that theory, it can be justified that why sound bends around the edges of obstacle but light waves do not. Now this is obviously considering the fact that here the situation is such that there are very large number of zones, but if the number of zones are very small in an aperture, it will not follow rectilinear propagation of light and it will be dominated by diffraction. But in our day to day life, we see the objects which are larger in size and which are much larger as compared to wavelength of light. So therefore it follows rectilinear propagation of light, and therefore light waves do not bend around the edges of obstacle unlike sound waves. Thank you.